Oh baby, today on the channel we got the Symbiote Spiderman and we've got Hammerhead. Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another retro Spider-Man wave unboxing and review. And today we've got Hammerhead and we've got the Symbiote Spider-Man. But remember, for all your Marvel Legends needs and a whole lot more, hit up Big Bad Toy Store. Link in the description below. And I'm really excited. We've unboxed these figures before. We've had a few series of these, a lot of exclusive of the retro wave Spider-Man figures, and here we are, 2022 early. Got another wave of these, and these are hitting targets right now. Of course, the online retailers will have these as well, so be on the lookout because these are always fun figures, always great figures. A lot of nostalgia with these. I love the retro card back. As a kid, I collected those original Spider-Man figures. Of course, I watched the cartoon every Saturday morning. It's just one of those things you did when you were of a certain age back then. So I'm here for all these all day long. Symbiote Spider-Man is getting a lot of the buzz on this set, but there's actually quite a few figures. The Spider Armor, the Hobgoblin, very, very strong wave. Can't wait to unbox these all on the channel, and of course we will do that. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, as we will get to them all eventually here on the channel. But these are the first two I've found so far, so I figured Symbiote Spider-Man, Hammerhead, let's put them together. Let's do that. We're going to actually start with Hammerhead. Yes, of course, Hammerhead. And we're going to do this like we do all the other ones on the channel. Take a look at the packaging, talk about it, unbox it, talk about it, see where it goes from there. But first time in the line for me with Hammerhead is I don't have a Hammerhead representation in my collection. I'm going to have fun putting him with, you know, the Kingpin or Tombstone, some of those Spider-Man kind of mob bosses out there. So I'm happy we're getting this one. I can't remember him from the cartoon. I'm sure he was in there, but he wasn't in there like some of the other characters. But I'm happy to have this one for sure. So let's look at the packaging here. Now this packaging is part of the fun. I would not fault anybody for having a mint on card set of this. So how cool would a wall be of all these figures together? Just absolutely beautiful. I love the old school animation artwork, the old Spider-Man logo. To me, that is my favorite Spider-Man logo because that's when you know, I was growing up, coming around, and this is really when I did start getting into Spider-Man, was with the animated series, the toy lines at the time, and of course the comic books. I mean, I remember I used to subscribe to Spider-Man, Spectacular Spider-Man, Web of Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man. I'm probably missing one in there too. And then you have all the annuals, everything else. It was Spider-Man Mania at this time. And some things never change as Spider-Man Mania wreaking havoc across the world in 2021 and 2022 as well. But Hammerhead looking pretty cool in the package there. On the back, you got Marvel's Hammerhead. You got the old school cross-sell down below. Can't wait to get that Shocker. Can't wait to get Hobgoblin. Iron Spider-Man, very cool. The Web Armor Spider-Man, I love that. Love it. And then, of course, Ben Reilly. I was a guy that loved the clone era as well as Spider-Man, so that was kind of my wheelhouse. So just always depends on your age bracket and what you remember. I have a lot of fondness for the Clone Saga of Spider-Man. Have a lot of fondness for the Age of Apocalypse because those were my prime reading years. So there we go. We got a blurb on the back. We got to read it. Let's see what it says about our old friend Hammerhead. Hammerhead's skull is reinforced with adamantium. Oh, there you go. Making his head flat on top. All the same, this hard-headed criminal's frequent run-ins with Spider-Man have caused him no shortage of headaches. Oh, I see what you did there. See what you did there. We do have a baseball bat. We do have removable hands with this one. He's got two fists of fury on him. You guys know I love that. It always hurts taking him off the card, but here we are. There it goes. Beautiful. Just beautiful carding. Beautiful for the recycling bin. See you later. All right, now we get Hammerhead out of the package here. Two hands, a baseball bat, a beautiful suit. He looks like he's ready to go. He looks like he's a mobster. He's got the old pinstripes going on. There you go. Pull him out of there. Baseball bat. Can we get it out? There it is. Two extra hands. Now I like it. He has two fists going on there. See you later. He's got two fists, but then of course you have to hold this baseball bat. So his right hand I will put a regular hand on. Oh boy, interesting hand choices. We'll get to that, but let's look at the figure first here before we dive too deep. Like I said, pinstripe suit. We get a lot of suited figures to the ears. The ears or the ears. I like this one, though, because he's got a little bit more girth, a little bit more size to him. A lot of the suited bodies are very skinny, like that Stan Lane figure, J. Jonah Jameson. They don't have a lot of weight to him. He's got a little bit of size to him. This feels like a real figure, where the other ones just feel a little light. A little light. This feels pretty good. I like the weight, like the size of this one. Blue suit, black pinstripes, got a black collared shirt underneath, a red tie. Some might say he's ready for a business meeting or a business transaction. Who knows? Of course, he's got the flat top on his head. Kind of is his gimmick. Almost looks like a Dick Tracy inspired character. I mean, he very well could be Dick Tracy inspired, as Dick Tracy goes way back. Probably before Hammerhead, I would have to imagine. But very cool, and it's going to be really good on like a gangster shelf. You got your shelf of gangsters, kingpins, thugs and stuff. I do have a kingpin I grabbed right here. I believe this is actually the Build-A-Figure kingpin, but you could put a display. You could have him, kingpins hired him for a job, something like that. You could do that. There is another version of Kingpin on this card, as you guys know, that was for sale last year. Going up in value out there, that Kingpin figure. You get two fists on him. You get the regular fist going on here, but then you get a, with old Knuckle Duster. Love brass knuckles. Good attention to detail here. I think that is really cool. What does it say on his hand? Let me see. I'm going to pop. What's it say? I'll figure it out here. Does it say head? It does. Head. Yeah, it does say head. It says head, but it's backwards. So I guess when he punches somebody in there, it'll say it right across the top. So that's kind of a nice attention to detail. Man, my eyes must be, I have contacts in, but man, it's time for Kyle to get the old readers out, man. It took me a while to focus in and figure out what this said. It is a little faint there, but it takes a while. It takes a while to kind of zero in on it. Get the old magnifying glass. Really what I need is a monocle, like a Mr. Peanut. I could put that monocle up and be like a jeweler or something, but it does say head there. Now, you got to leave that hand on there because that is pretty cool to get that. Problem is, this hand to hold the... Oh, never mind. That works out. Okay. I run that back. I was going to say, this is too open of a hand to hold the bat, and that's fine because you want to have the bat in the other hand, and that's what that hand is for. Easily pops out like we see all other figures do, and bam, you get that. You put the baseball bat in here. New baseball bat. It's so funny. I'm used to my wrestling baseball bats we get with Sting and Chris Jericho and some of the other guys out there. This is a very plasticky feeling bat. Not a lot of bend to it. A little bit of a hollow feel to it, but of course it fits right in his hand. Perfect size for the figure. Looks like a mobster's bat. It would have been fun if he would have came with like a Tommy gun. I think that's kind of the stereotypical mobster gun. So a Tommy gun would have fit really well with Hammerhead, but it is what it is. We don't see a ton of guns in Marvel Legends. They're used very sparingly, it seems. Unless you're the Hood, the red Hood out there. No, just the regular Hood. I always get my Hoods confused. The Hood, he's coming out all guns blazing last year. One of my top figures of the year. Hammerhead could be in that designation. I guess as of right now in 2022, hey, this is a top 10 figure of the year. A lot can happen. A lot could change. But man, I like this one. Double jointed elbows, double jointed knees going on with him. A lot of articulation. Oh, man, very stiff articulation. Does he fit on a ringside stand? Of course he does. Fits like a... Well, maybe not. Maybe run that back. Yep, he fits like a glove. So you can put him on those ringside collectible stands, of course, if you needed to. That fits perfectly on there. So there you go. I can't say I don't like this Hammerhead. I like it a whole lot. It's maybe a CD level villain. It's definitely not a top Spider-Man villain. But sometimes you need these deep cuts. You need characters that help build out your shelf a little bit. And that's what he's going to do with Kingpin and others. I'm here for it all day long. I like it. I like the idea of it. Very interesting to be put in this set. But hey, I'm here for it, like I said. So there it is. There's Hammerhead. Now let's turn our attention to the Black Spider-Man, the old symbiote suit. All right, here we are with the old Symbiote Spider-Man, and I gotta tell you guys, when I was a kid, when I was first getting into Spider-Man, that was about when the black suit was kind of starting. Obviously, for somebody like me that really came to age late 80s, a lot of the 90s comic books, obviously, the black suit to me means Venom, and I'm sure a lot of you guys are the same way, but we know the whole story of the black costume, but it's really cool to get it on this Spider-Man card. It was a good episode arc in the animated series at the time, and it was time for an update, as I do have a black suit we'll compare that to, and of course the retro Spider-Man as well. We'll kind of compare all three of those together, but beautiful, beautiful to get this finally in a new Marvel Legends wave, even if it is the retro one. I don't care how it got there, I'm just glad it got here, but there it is right there. Black suit Spider-Man looking only like he can look. Spider-Man logo, all the stuff we saw with Hammerhead. Beautiful in the package as well. On the back, Same cross-sell, same pictures back there of the rest of the lineup. We'll be unboxing all those on the channel, so stay tuned for that. We got the blurb, we'll read that. We got the beautiful artwork at the top. Just 90s nostalgia. Man, I'm here for it. This is when I was buying these figures. Symbiote Spider-Man. Spider-Man gets an all-new look when he finds a sleek black costume in a space shuttle wreck. Little does Spidey realize he's joined himself to the predatory alien symbiote, Venom. Oh, baby, there it is. There it is. So let's get him out here. I got a little scuffing on the plastic, but Target right now is shipping these. They're starting to ship these. First retailer out there. It seems like they're not shipping full cases. They're getting onesie twosies, or they're getting 6 black suit Spider-Mans, 6 Hammerheads, like the store I found them in. Haven't seen anything since, but I got to think the next couple of weeks, reset season at Walmart, reset season at Target. You'll be able to find these guys out there, or go the easy route. Order from Big Bad Toy Store. Link in the description below. There it is. See you later up high. Oh, didn't go as far as I wanted it to. Spider-Man. There it is right there. Black suit Spider-Man. Plastic prison. There he is. Look at that. We got all kinds of extra hands, too. We get the wall-crawling hands. You always need those with Spider-Man. You got the old Jimmy Superfly Snook Eye Love You hands, or the web-slinging hands, depending how you view those hands. But I'm here for it. And then, of course, 2 fists. I was going to say, are we going to get fists with this Spider-Man? There it is. See you later. We got fists with Spider-Man, and right off the bat, this feels a lot better than the prior one. As obviously I had to find the prior one out of my shelf and bring it down. It's got a little bit more weight to it, a little bit more girth, a little bit more stamina, But beautiful. We got the black and white. Now, black and white is very difficult to pair up in paint. A lot of times you'll see some paint mistakes, and I got to tell you, mine is pretty clean. I got one little ding on the white on his back, one on the spider, one at the bottom of the spider. So I got a few little scuffs, but as a whole, you have to really look for them. The front, that's where you want the scuffs to really not be in the front, and I do a terrible job of it, but when you find them in the stores, really look at the paint apps on this one. You got to look close. You don't want something that you're going to be disappointed with when you get home. But it does look very good. But it's about the articulation with Spider-Man. We always say, oh, this guy doesn't need super articulation. He's not Spider-Man. Well, now we're finally unboxing a Spider-Man. And guess what? He needs super articulation, and we got some of that going on here. We got the double-jointed elbows. We got the hands, of course, removable. Turn it all side to side every which way you want. You got the bicep swivel. You can go all the way around. You get the shoulders up, down, all around. But then you get the butterfly joints. Very key in your Spider-Man figures. Giving him extra posability with the butterfly joints. Head up, down, all around. Love a good high look on Spider-Man. If he can look way up at the ceiling, just extra posing. It's just a head tilt adds so much, as you guys are fully aware. He can spin all the way around every which way with his head. Tons of articulation there. You have the diaphragm up top, and then you get an ab crunch as well as that. So you got double kind of articulation through the chest, extra posability with that. You get the thigh swivel. You get the double jointed knees. Oh yeah, he's got tons of articulation there. And then the boot swivel, and then the ankle rocker side to side, up and down. So tons and tons of posability here for this Spider-Man. You can move him to almost any kind of way you'd want him to. Which is very, very cool. Very cool, very accepted. We want that. That's what we want out of our Spider-Mans, to be able to move. And really sleek, really clean, but I like it. I got the old one right here. This was in one of the Marvel Legends wave. It's funny how light this feels now and just kind of loose. It just feels loose. This one's not terribly bigger than this one. Still a little bit bigger, but it's not as right in your face bigger, but man, is it way, way better. You can see the eye, the head differences are really key on this one. You can see the differences there. But a lot of the same look. Obviously, there's not a lot of look to this. It's just so minimalistic, it looks good. That's kind of the beauty of the black and white costume for me. But definitely, if you're picking between the two and you want some and you're playing and stuff, the new one's going to fit in just right. This is great. I'm not removing this from my collection. I'm not going to sell it. I'll find a different shelf for him. And that's usually what I do with most of these guys. I just get a different shelf. But man, I like it. I like this one a lot. I'd say it lives up to expectations. I have to think this will be the most popular one in the set. That's the early read from online, I think. A lot of people excited about that spider armor. Me as well. That was one of my favorite early Toy Biz Spider-Man figures. Of course, we do have the retro Spider-Man. It's crazy how this has jumped in price over the last couple of years. Just astronomical. I remember seeing just tons of these, pegs fulls of these when they first came out. I don't know, 2 years ago, something like that. But Spider-Man, he's one of those guys you always need on the shelf. There's certain superheroes, they come out with them all the time. Well, guess what? There's a reason for it, because they sell. And no kid, little kid, and we always got to think business-wise, there's no little kid out there that wants to start a Spider-Man collection with Hammerhead and I don't know, think of somebody else kind of off the wall. They want Spider-Man. They want the Spider-Man they most associate, which is normally this one. So you got to have these kind of guys out there. This does a little bit. There's people that resonate with this, but as a whole, this is the one. I got to think we're going to get something more akin to this in the future very soon. Be on the lookout for that. But very, very similar figures, as they should be. People are over the moon with this body mold. They're going to be the same with this one as well. Getting the reuse of it, as this has been a very popular mold, and I'm glad to see it used in another Spider-Man figure. Wouldn't be bad to be all Spider-Man figures with this mold going forward. Just very, very solid. All day long, though, this is my Spider-Man, and most people are probably that way. Black suit, I loved it. I love the storyline, but man, that's Venom to me. I want some Venom in the black suit, but it's still cool to have. This is still a must-have from where I sit, as you guys know right here at this table. A must-have figure in your Spider-Man collection. Very, very strong. I love it. I love it. I'm glad I picked it up. No doubt in my mind, I'm glad I picked this one up. But what say you? Are you picking it up? Sure you are. Why even ask the question? But let me know your thoughts and comments on here. I think this is going to be one of the hottest Spider-Man figures, if not one of the hottest Marvel Legend figures of 2022. It'll be interesting where it sits at the very end of the year when we do top 10 lists and other people do their top 10 lists. We shall see, but I think it's going to be pretty high, as this is a very, very popular Spider-Man. But leave your comments, like I said. Make sure you like this video. Subscribe to the channel. We're unboxing all kinds of the Marvel Legends, as you guys know, and everything else under the sun. And make sure you hit the old notification bell. Give it the old thumbs up. Follow me on social media at SirPaul64 on Twitter, Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson, and of course, ProWrestlingTees.com. Search Kyle Peterson. So for Retro Spider-Man, Black Suit, Symbiote Spider-Man, Old School Black Suit Spider-Man, Kingpin and Hammerhead, who we did at the beginning, I am Kyle. See you guys all real soon.